Good afternoon. It is 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. We will call the City Council meeting of the City of New Ulm to order. Item number 1 is the consent agenda. Councilors, what are your wishes?
I'll offer a motion to approve those.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 2.1, rideshare service licenses to Angela Stutz.
I'll make a motion to approve an issuance of a rideshare license to Angela Stutz, 401 Linden Street, New Ulm, Minnesota, for the period beginning October 4th, 2023, and ending June 30th, 2024, subject to compliance with all city and state requirements. And thank you, Angela.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? I'll just note that Angela is going to be an Uber driver in town, so it's great to see Lyft and Uber both
Yep.
having some presence here.
Right in time.
Yes, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 2.2, American Legion liquor license extension for George's Ballroom Street Dance.
I'll offer the resolution to authorize the extension of the American Legion's liquor license into the portion of Center Street between Minnesota and German Streets and North and South German Street from the middle of the street during the George's Ballroom Street Dance on Sunday, October 15th, 2023, beginning at 12 p.m. until 5 p.m., subject to conditions.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Motion carries. Item number 3.1 is Sister Cities Commission signage request.
Madam President, City Councilors, this request is coming back to you. Previously, this was considered back in October of 2021. The request tonight has been modified since the original request, and the Sister Cities Commission is requesting the installation of 3 Sister Cities signs. The first one would be at westbound Highway 14, southbound Highway 15, so the new gateway area that MnDOT constructed in 2018. We have a population sign there that has no additional signage on it. The other 2 locations would be CASA 27 or 5th North Street as you come into town, and 20th South Street as you come into town. Excuse me. MnDOT and Brown County have been contacted, and they have no objections to this. So if approved, we would send the application to MnDOT, and then get the Sister Cities Commission would order the signs.
Being this has been on our plate several times, I'm just going to offer the resolution approving the installation of the Sister Cities recognition signage along the entrances to the city of New Ulm in the following segments: westbound Highway 14, southbound Highway 15, County 27, and 20th South Street.
I'll second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
I guess I just want to thank Dick Seabooth for taking and being patient on this. It's been a couple of years on this, and we've been discussing it, and he did the research on it, so, and glad to see it moving forward.
Me too. Thank you. Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 3.2, interim use permit for 917 11th North Street, Dustin and Megan Svenstad.
Good evening, Council President, Councilors. John Isley, planner with the City of New Ulm. The applicant for this interim use permit is proposing to continue operating a pet grooming business inside of their residence in a 10 by 12 room, which is their breezeway between the garage and the living space of their house. When the applicant, like I said, is operating the grooming currently, they didn't know that there was a city ordinance that said you had to get an interim use permit to operate a business like that out of your home. As soon as she found out about that, she immediately came in and talked to city staff about going through the proper channels to get the correct permitting. So they said that in their application that they were only going to have up to 3 dogs at a time in the grooming station. There will be no dogs outside. The only traffic generated from the site will be from the drop-off and pickup of the dogs from the location. She noted that she doesn't tolerate any barking on that site whatsoever. If there is any barking, it'll be dealt with immediately. The Planning Commission unanimously approved the application with 6 conditions. The 6 conditions that they recommended would be that the use shall comply with the standards found in Section 2.4E of Appendix A of the City Code or the zoning ordinance. Number 2, the interim use permit is for an approval of 5 years. Number 3, the hours of operation will generally be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and no activity shall take place after 9 p.m. daily. Number 4, customer parking will be encouraged to take place on hard surface locations on the applicant's property. Number 5, the size of the use will not expand nor be moved from the location identified in the application. And then number 6, the applicant/property owner will pay the cost to record the resolution approving the interim use permit with the Brown County Recorder's Office. That concludes the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Nisley.
Yeah, I'm just going to add from the Planning Commission, it was noted that we've got a couple of these out in the community already, and city staff's never had any complaints from it, so it was another reason to move forward with this. It's basically treated just like a hair salon, but they're just getting in compliance. So.
Thank you.
Well, I'll offer a resolution to approve with conditions the interim use permit application to Dustin and Megan Swenstad to allow the operation of a pet grooming business in a residence located in an R2 zone, or RT2 zoning district on a property legally described as the rear half of Lot 8, Block 152, north of Center Street.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Bettker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 3.3 is a simple lot division of lots 8, 9, and 10, Block 24, south of Center Street. Mr. Snowbrick.
Yes, Madam President, members of the City Council, this parcel of property is located north of 16 South Street and west of the Canadian Pacific Railroad. The street address is 224 16 South Street. The owners of the property and the applicant, and I'm going to give you the official name, is Lauren R. Huffman and Vicki L. Huffman as trustees of the Huffman Revocable Trust dated April 13th, 2017. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at their meeting that was held on September 28th. The property is currently zoned I-2, which is General Industrial District. The applicant is proposing to divide 3 lots into 2 equal parcels. So they would have the same size and the same dimensions, and their lot area would be 12,375 square feet. Both parcels would have frontage on 16 South Street. The owner of this property also owns the lots to the north. There are 4 lots in that location, and that area is designated as a wetland and is not buildable. There is a platted street, which is 15 South Street, that provides access to that property if necessary. The proposed legal descriptions would, there's 2 of them, would be, first of all, for parcel A, it would be the west 82.5 feet of lot 8, 9, and 10, block 24 south of Center Street. And for parcel B, it would be lot 8, 9, and 10, block 24 south of Center Street, except for the west 82.5 feet. Within the I-2 zoning district, there are no lot area, lot width, or lot depth requirements. Staff has also not been advised by any utility providers with any concerns about the proposed lot division. There were 3 conditions. First condition is that the applicant will record the resolution authorizing the simple lot division with the Brown County Recorder's Office. Just want to note that the effect of the simple lot division does not take place until it's recorded. Secondly, parcel A will form one parcel of property for tax and building purposes. Thirdly, parcel B will form one parcel of property for tax and building purposes. We provided 2 notes in the staff report to the Planning Commission, and would like to pass those along to the City Council. The first one is that there is only one water and sewer service for the proposed 2 parcels, and it is intended to serve the west parcel. As a result, if a second set of services is requested, it would have to be installed from the main into the property, and that would be that owner's responsibility to pay. The second note is that if an owner decides to extend services into that parcel, they will need to pay a connection charge of $3,000 for water and $3,000 for sanitary sewer. The city's original assessment of the utilities that serve this property was on a per-lot basis, so there was only one lot at that time. I would also note that this charge is part of the city's current fee schedule. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnurberg.
And just one comment, and Dave and I know this, we've had those sack and whack fees for a long time. It's nothing new
Yeah.
to the Planning Commission, anybody. It's been a while since we've done a simple lot division. I'm going to offer a resolution, approve the simple lot division of lots 8, 9, 10, block 24, south of Center,
With the conditions.
with the conditions.
I'll second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Bedker?
Yes, that motion carries. Under new business, item number 4.1 is ordinance number 2023-075, first consideration of zoning. Again, Mr. Nisley.
All right, thank you. So as you all know, the city has received interest from residents for the use of prescribed grazing with goats in select areas for the purpose of managing noxious and invasive species throughout the city of New Ulm. Prescribed grazings with the use of goats to manage these types of plants is used all across the United States. It's used for not only noxious weed control and invasive species, it's also used for fire suppression out west. And it's recently been used in Flandreau State Park, and I think that's why we've generated some interest here from residents in the city of New Ulm. Specifically, they're looking to graze the goats on garlic mustard and buckthorn. The city staff has reviewed numerous other Minnesota city codes and their prescribed grazing ordinances, and that's how we crafted our ordinance based off of those that we felt would work well within the city of New Ulm. We've also consulted with the Department of Natural Resources and how they're managing goats on their properties, and addressing issues or concerns like are the goats moving around actually moving seeds from place to place? And the DNR has worked through those issues with us, and they are in support of the city of New Ulm developing an ordinance to manage these noxious and invasive species through the use of goats. I wanted just to highlight a few things in the ordinance that I think are important. Number one, it does require that a permit be issued for the use of goats for prescribed grazing. Number two, it outlines conditions that need to be met in order to obtain a permit. So one of the major things in the ordinance is that we don't want these goats on areas of less than a half acre. That being said, individuals, if they don't have a half-acre site, they can work with their neighboring or adjoining property owners to combine their properties to get to that half acre or more, and then apply for the prescribed grazing permit. We want the sites to be well-maintained without an accumulation of manure. We say in the ordinance that the goats shall not constitute a nuisance. We have provisions on bleeding or noise coming from the animals. We also have in there the city's right for inspection of the premises. We're concerned, or not concerned, but we're sensitive to ecologically sensitive areas in New Ulm that we want to protect. We have in there requirements on proper fencing. We had to exempt this fencing from our fence regulations because it's electric fencing, and electric fencing in residential areas is prohibited unless it's for prescribed grazing purposes. We have insurance requirements and then signage and contact information. Duration of the permit for these smaller sites, less than 2 acres, is 30 days. You can get a maximum of those 2 30-day permits of 2 per year. If it's greater than 2 acres, then city staff will work with those property owners to go over a duration that would make sense for that type of site. We will give notice to neighbors that there will be grazing taking place on adjoining properties within 50 feet of the grazing operation, but that notice won't take place until after the permit has been issued. Okay, so we're just notifying the neighbors that there's going to be goats next door. In addition to the goat, the prescribed grazing part of this change in the ordinance, we are also, there was some interest in changing permitting on keeping chickens, and specifically removing the requirement that you have to get the neighboring property's signatures in order to obtain a chicken permit for your property. So with the prescribed grazing ordinance change, we also made a change to section 8.29 subdivision 7B and struck the language that said you had to get neighboring property signatures in order to have chickens on your property. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Nisley.
So if Counselor Christian wanted to bring goats in to his front yard next summer so he doesn't have to mow lawn, that'd be a hard no.
It would, yeah, unless you can convince everybody else along your street.
Just check it.
Yeah.
So we got sheep and we got chickens and we got goats now, if we approve this, so. I'm gonna offer a motion that we have had a first consideration of ordinance 2023-075, amending section 8.29 of the city code regarding keeping of chickens and allowing goats for prescribed grazing purposes.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Thank you. Item number 4.2, task order number 2020-05 for airport engineering services.
Madam President, City Councilors, this task order would add this professional service contract to the Mead and Hunt Master Services Agreement. This would be for the replacement, for the design of the replacement fueling system at the airport. Currently, our fueling system was installed, been in place since 1990, and they are beyond their expected useful design life. So this task order would perform the design services as required to design the new fuel systems and access roads. As you may remember, last meeting, we had a task order for the apron expansion design. This is now the next step in that, to put that fuel system in that new location. So I'd be happy to entertain any questions you may have.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the task order number 2020-05 for airport engineering services, adding a task to the Mead and Hunt professional services contract in the amount of $74,942.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 4.3, appointment to the Planning Commission.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Bobby Fear to the Planning Commission to fill the unexpired term of Ashley Aukus.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Welcome, Bobby. Item number 5.1, report of claims paid.
I'll offer a motion to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $4,692,811.86.
Oh, I think did I hear that right?
What's that?
Second.
I thought I said 682. Did you say 682 or 690?
692.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye. Opposed? That motion does carry. And with no additional business and no work session this evening, this meeting is adjourned.
Less.